Or did you forget that black people in Africa actually sold other tribes, other black people to?
Hey, hold on, give me a break. I was trying to rewind that part, but I think it's coming up. Welcome to this amazing video. I'll let you enjoy the rest of the video. I don't want to make any comments right now, but I think mine will come at the end of the video. But who can change the history? Well, when I was young, I was taught that history can't be changed unless something happens, and unless somebody has the ability to go into the past and change it. So I don't know, leave your thought in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell. Thank you.
The white people and
in fact they didn't. In our imagination today, this is one place inhabited by one race of people. You know that Africa was and is a dizzyingly diverse continent with literally thousands of distinct ethnic and linguistic groups.
You would think that since slavery was such a long, long time ago that each one of these squares would represent, I don't know, 10 years, but no, from here to here is 403 squares. The fact that we could fit it all on one page should tell you slavery wasn't that long ago, but now let's have a little fun. The start of slavery is here. Black people did not get emancipated until right here. Mind you, the U.S. got its freedom from Britain all the way back here. This is 1865. This is us. It gets worse when you get more specific. This is emancipation. This is the year I was born. This is my mom. This is my grandma. This is the end of slavery. And this is Betty White. So all of the gray squares are slavery. And this is Google. No.
And I don't think any certain group needs to control the narrative on that.
So the same way that you felt
of course, when people talk about this topic, they tend to say, well, you know, black people sold other black people, right? And so they leave feeling vindicated as if this statement is some sort of trump card. Is that it's disingenuous to begin with. Here's why. There was no black power or Pan-Africanism back then. Like, black people didn't become black until they came to the New World. They shared a similar culture, they shared a similar experience, and they began to speak the same language. That's when they became black people.
To be clear, enslaved Africans were sold to white people in North America and white people in Latin America. I feel like this creator is saying and Hispanic people because she wants us to imagine that enslaved Africans were sold to Latin Americans. But while the British were colonizing the United States, Spain and Portugal were colonizing Latin America. And of the 4 million enslaved Africans that went to South America, 3.5 million went to Brazil, which was colonized by the Portuguese, who are white and not even Hispanic. But while she's going on about the history of everybody who was involved in the transatlantic slave trade, she keeps saying the word repercussions, but seems to miss that the conversation is about repercussions. It is about the ongoing disparate treatment that black people receive in the United States to this day. And it doesn't matter how much history you use to deflect from that, the problem exists here today.
So the same way that you felt like you needed to teach me a lesson and talk down to me is the same way that I'm going to reciprocate said energy, and I'm going to teach you a lesson in regards to how you need to make sure that you get all of the facts straight before you actually sit here and defend something. Because the person that you're defending right now not only used racial undertones at me, but she referred to me as a servant and a boy. So glad to know that you are a proponent of racism. Glad to know that. But you talked about a certain group controlling the narrative in regards to history. Black, brown, and indigenous people are not trying to control the narrative, sweetie. We are out here trying to make sure that history is taught in its entirety. And my videos have always talked about how history is ugly and it needs to be taught within its entirety so that we can learn from it. But last time I checked, the mass majority of people trying to ban books and history from being taught are white male legislators. So you need to make sure that you get your facts.
Repercussions of slavery. I can go back generations. No slaves.
Shh, just don't. Don't. That's all you gotta do. Don't. Delete this whole video. Whatever your feelings about slavery is, keep them to yourself. Do not put them over the internet, especially not for public consumption. Let it go. Because I'm gonna tell you something. If you keep trying to tap dance down this damn road, you're gonna have to explain what was your family doing during Jim Crow. See, I am tired of the default settings becoming Marty McFly. I have a DeLorean. I'm going to go back to slavery and I'm going to prove it wasn't as bad as we thought it would. Stop. Shh. You want to brag about the family members you lost in the Civil War. Okay, what did they do after? Not the ones that were lost, the ones that remained. What happened after? You mean to tell me none of them participated in Jim Crow? None of them? Didn't think about that, did you? So rather than having you running to a therapist because, oh my God, I found out that my great-grandfather was a racist, let it go. Just let this one go. Let this one go. Accept that chattel slavery happened. Accept that America has never really gotten over it. And just accept it. Just accept it. Because y'all don't want to go down this road, yet y'all keep trying to drive down the motherfucker. Just let it go. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't. Because you're going to fuck around and do an Ancestry.com and find out that all those people that you loved in your fucking lineage wasn't all great. Some of them was participating in the coup d'etat in Wilmington, North Carolina. Oops. A couple of them actually did some lynching. Oops. Now you're going to feel bad. So do us a favor. Don't open that door. Matter of fact, stay away from that house.
People, because the majority of slaves that were taken out of Africa actually went to South America. Repercussions of slavery. I can go back generations. No slaves. Granted, when we first got here, yeah. But my family understood. It's bad. Matter of fact, my family fought and died in the Civil War. Yeah, I know you're probably happy about that. But anyways, should we hold black people, should you suffer the repercussions of slavery? Or did you forget that black people in Africa actually sold other tribes, other black people to the white people and the Hispanic people? Yes, and the Hispanic people. Because the majority of slaves that were taken out of Africa actually went to South America, not to North America. So are you going to hold South America responsible for have them suffer the repercussions of slavery? Because they actually ended it long after we did, like I said in my other videos. I don't see that happening. I don't see you calling them out. What about the Native Americans? Because they owned slaves too. Some of them actually even wanted to fight on the side of the Confederacy to keep it going. I don't see you calling them out either. Should the Native Americans suffer the repercussions of slavery? Huh? What about black people here in the United States that owned slaves? See, y'all want to romanticize it and think that they only owned them in order to free their family members. That's not entirely true. There were ones that actually wanted to fight on the side of the Confederacy also to keep slavery going. So should I hold you responsible for those, and should you suffer the repercussions of them enslaving black people? Y'all want to talk about slavery, but you don't want to hear the truth about it. You only want to hear the parts you want. And that's not including all of the slavery that's happened all over the world. You want to talk about slavery, but you only want to talk about one version. One little version. And I don't mean little in a bad way. It was a horrible thing, and millions of people suffered. And I'm glad my family fought on the side that helped to free them. Because slavery is wrong, no matter who does it. Have a good day. South America.
Always playing the blame game. We're not talking about slavery when it was in Africa, when tribes sold one another during war. We're not talking about Hispanic people. We're talking about America. Let's go from there. And it was not every white person owned slaves. Not even the majority of white people owned slaves. But it was enough supported by other white people that slavery held up for over 400 years. So the blame is where it belongs.
You already ignore it. You only acknowledge a part of it. See, my sons haven't even graduated high school yet. My sons are straight white males. They're already hated. They're being told that they are born racist. So there's people out there that are bigoted and hateful towards my sons that don't even know my sons. Okay? So don't come at me with your colorism crap unless it starts including all colors. Unless it starts including hatred and bigotry towards all colors. We can't ignore that. Watch me.
What?
Until it includes all colors, it's ignored.
What? It makes no sense. Now, I found that gem just scrolling. Just scrolling. Algorithm. Are those the sons you're talking about? Oh my. She was so angry. Wow, the sons that they raised. Hold on. And you know what she would tell me? That my sons are thugs. And babe, the word is racism, but very loud and wrong. You're not experiencing racism. You're not oppressed, sugar. You're really not. Just a couple decades ago, my grandparents were taking care of your I could like, please. When your sons stop hurting people, people will stop talking about them like that. Okay, honey. You talking about all colors? You and your people created that bullshit. And now you're complaining about the things that are happening. It's making you uncomfortable. My sons, what about my sons? Someone's black son just actually got shot trying to go pick up his brothers. But what about my sons? And white man, what about his mom? Who raised him? The shooter that was. Y'all are to blame. The mothers are to blame. So when you start looking at my children like humans, then we'll talk about how we look at your children. Until then, go pick up a parenting book.
Did y'all know that across the United States, there's 1.5 million black men that are missing? Just missing and unaccounted for. There's 120,000 black men between the ages of 25 and 54 just in New York alone that are missing. The more you know.
Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time. Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comment section, but also subscribe to the channel and turn on the post of notification. Bye. Ciao. Love you.